have to send an email at 10 a.m. I have to make a call at 11, and then I have to order my grocery at lunch break just so I don't waste time during work hours.
I used to work on weekends and it gave me some health issues. I had a hair loss problem.
Your girl gotta hustle.
Burnout is really horrible.
Hi, I'm Camille Bianca Ortiz. You can call me Camille. I am 26 years old
Hello, I'm Ellie Kua. I'm currently 23 years old.
and I'm working as a senior art director in an advertising agency.
I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. I'm mostly known for my illustration work as Elephant, but on the professional side, I'm a in-house graphic designer for a retail company, and I'm also a part-time graphic designer and illustrator for an agency based in Hong Kong. But I also do freelance projects as well.
I've been working as a full-time creative for 5 years now.
I do both full-time and freelance work because I'm a sole breadwinner for my family.
Ever since I started working 5 years ago, it has always been one of my career goals to step up the ladder or to be a creative director or anything similar to that position. And for me, the easiest way to achieve that is, to be in a company where it allows you to grow or basically to step up the career ladder. And I also enjoy working with different people. I enjoy learning from talented creatives or even non-creatives. I like having a team like on a daily basis. And I also like having mentors who not just tell me what to do or what not to do. I also like having mentors who really guide me, not just a professional but also a personal individual. That kind of sounds cheesy, but it's true. I'm not saying that that's not possible working as a freelancer. I'm sure there's lots of benefits working as a full-time freelancer. Like, you get to work with different clients, you get to do different design jobs compared to working in a company. But for me, working as a full-time employee has its own benefits that I really enjoy, and I'm not just talking about the compensations or the bonuses that we get. I'm also talking about the experience, the people I meet along the way, and yeah, being in a company who takes care of me as a creative and where I am really valued.
I got into working with freelance projects because I want to learn more about the different industries and what they do, aside from like giving my assistance to them in exchange for the knowledge and experience. It is a great career as long as you can do it and be updated with the trends. If I'm not a breadwinner right now, I choose working with freelance full-time.
I started doing freelance jobs even before I graduated. So that was even before I started working as a full-time creative. It started way back. I remember I have a few relatives asking me to do like designs for birthday invitations, wedding invitations, even designs for tarpaulins. So yeah, my interest in doing freelance jobs really just grew from there. Even until now, I still do freelance jobs on the side during my free time. But mostly now it's for, additional income because your girl gotta hustle. But jokes aside, I really make sure to find time doing freelance jobs.
Currently, I'm still working full-time because of the bills and utilities that I have to pay, and also to expand my portfolio. Transitioning from full-time work to freelance isn't that hard to me because I've built a strong work ethic from my past experiences. I have a strategy wherein I list all the deliverables that I have to do, and I usually prioritize the hardest one before the easiest deliverables so that I have more time for revisions if there are any.
Right now, my work is 9 to 5. I guess that's the standard, but there are companies who are not very strict when it comes to time, or mostly more output based. So as long as you submit your works needed for that day, you're good to go. Working 9 to 5 really taught me how to manage my time or organize myself in general. Some days are really hectic where I don't really know how to fit everything in a day or in 8 hours. But some days are also chill, which is good. When my day is really packed, I start the day like organizing my thoughts, like what do I have to do? What do I need to prioritize? So I check my emails, go through my messages on work Viber. By listing down all the things I have to accomplish for that day, I can visualize how much is needed to be done for the day. And I don't know, I think as a creative, writing down stuff and actually seeing or visualizing what you have to do really helps a lot with how I organize my time, how I manage my time, like in general, even outside of work.
I usually do my freelance work an hour after my full-time shift. I have a fixed time, specifically from 8 p.m. to 12 in the midnight. I don't work on weekends. I used to work on weekends and it gave me like some health issues. I had a hair loss problem. I manage my time by being disciplined about it and listing all my deliverables and their deadlines. Usually, most of the projects that I do, I try to achieve it by submitting it to the client a day or 2 days, 3 days before the deadline. So that if they have any other comments, I can adjust to it, or if I have any more questions.
Like I mentioned earlier, I really make sure to have a list even before my day officially starts. Sometimes I even do my list the night before, let's say Monday. It really helps me organize my things and even visualize what I have to do for the day. Like, is it really this much or is it really just a chill day? And also, I really keep it as specific as possible. Like, for example, I have to send an email at 10 a.m. or I have to make a call at say 11, and then I have to order my grocery at lunch break just so I don't waste time during work hours. Those small things really help me be on track, and make sure that I don't really miss a thing. That way I get to manage my whole day and make sure that there's still enough time left for me to do other things, like do freelance jobs, for example, or even work out at night or in the morning. So yeah, my really number one life hack is to keep a list of the things you have to finish for the day or even you want to do for the day.
I find time to do activities beyond work by strictly following my schedule. Usually, I don't accept projects most of the time. Like, I have this minimum and maximum number of projects that I can take per month, per week, or as long as I can. Weekends important to me so that I can still rest, relax, so that I cannot experience burnout. Because I used to work from Monday to Sunday and it caused me some problems. It was hard.
Browse through job openings on different career websites like Indeed, JobStreet, LinkedIn. Even on Facebook, they have tons of Facebook groups for, let's say creatives looking for jobs, or even if you're in a different industry, I'm sure they have lots of Facebook groups for that. If you're eyeing for a specific job or you have your dream companies, I suggest just go to their website, even stalk them on social media. I'm sure most companies these days post job openings on Facebook or even on Instagram. If they don't, I suggest you just send them an email and introduce yourself. I think companies or some companies keep your record even if they currently don't have any openings for you. And some recruiters actually appreciate it when people really make an effort of introducing themselves or just being seen or being heard. So I suggest even if you don't see a job opening, just introduce yourself, send them an email, send them your portfolio, and even if you're not currently or actively searching for jobs, if you're a creative like me, I suggest update your portfolio from time to time. I'm on Behance and I'm sure lots of Even your LinkedIn profile is a really big plus for recruiters. Some really just message you if they find your credentials interesting.
When it comes to finding clients, early in my career, it used to occur mostly by word of mouth, but it's still happening in my career. I strive to make the projects that they need from me to be successful so that the recommendations still keep on coming. And aside from that, I post commissioned illustrations, I post the price lists, but as of now, I took a break for that. Also, there are posts in FB or Twitter, like if they need some freelancers, I apply on that post, like job openings for freelance projects. Yeah. I apply and offer my services for freelance work by sending them my portfolio and by guaranteeing every one of them that I can set an excellent standard for my services and I can solve the problem in terms of like doing the creatives that they need.
Like I mentioned earlier, I really make it a habit of having a to-do list before my day officially starts. And as a creative, I just like visualizing or seeing how much load I have to finish for the day or for the next few days. And what I like about my job is every day is different from each other. Like for example, today we just had a brainstorming session of ideas for this creative pitch for this brand. And then tomorrow, let's say I have a photo shoot for this TVC, and then the next day I just have to execute these designs for social media posts for this account.
My workload depends on the number of projects that I'm assigned to for my part-time work and also for the chosen projects that I got. I also manage it by batches, like I usually organize them in terms of the deadline. I usually prioritize the hardest projects first and the projects that have like early deadline compared to the projects that have like longer deadline. I manage my task by using project management tools such as Notion, ClickUp, or sometimes the simple sticky notes on your computer, and I also take notes on my phone and I link those project management apps to my phone so that I'm still always be reminded with the deadlines.
When it comes to my money, I'm not really super duper strict. I really try to set a specific budget for a week or for a month. I really try my best to stick with that budget. Like I even give myself a clothing allowance just so I don't deprive myself, because I realize that the more I deprive myself from splurging or buying the things I want, the more I'm prone to binging.
I manage my finances by having a separate bank account for my freelance earnings. I have 3 different bank accounts, one for my savings, one for my salary, and lastly is for my freelance work earnings.
I use most Adobe softwares like Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro, InDesign, XD, and I'm trying to learn a few more. All of those are paid for by the company I'm working at because I obviously can't afford a license.
The tools that I use is my desktop and also my handy graphic tablet. And for my photography works, I also use my DSLR. It's stored in a camera cabinet. The necessary investments that I purchased for my career is this office table, and I've upgraded my keyboard to a mechanical one. And I've also upgraded my desktop. I've upgraded the graphics card. I'm currently learning 3D, so it's a very useful upgrade. I've also recently bought a office chair which I'm sitting on right now, and a desk lamp if I'm working at night. Some art materials that are inside this storage boxes. And I also bought another monitor so that I can multitask. One is for like the brief and the other screen is for the design applications that I use.
I see lots of benefits working in a full-time company, and that includes stepping up the career ladder. And as I said, it's also one of my main career goals to step up the ladder, be a creative director. And I feel like the only possible way for me to achieve that is to be a full-time creative, like working in a company. And I can honestly see myself in 10 years being in that position. And I'm really, really hoping that's true or that happens in the future. And I'm not just aggressively working just for the sake of getting what I want. I also make sure that I enjoy what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I put my heart into whatever I do on a daily basis. And I guess that's what's really important. At the end of the day, I don't really care much about what my position is or how much I'm earning, as long as I get to do what I really love the most.
I see myself working freelance in the long run because I was inspired by the posts in this specific Facebook group called Online Filipino Freelancers, wherein some of the posts there inspired me. Some of the freelancers there, they can travel while working freelance and they earn more compared to like most of the corporate creative jobs here in the country. And in 10 years time, aside from being still a creative, like a graphic designer and illustrator, I also see myself as a mentor in the future. I want to impart and share my knowledge to the future young aspiring creatives in order to give back the good experiences that I gained.
So again, no matter what career goals you have, no matter how much you're earning or how much you want to earn in the future, no matter what your current position is or your dream job is, I guess it really all boils down to what you're really passionate about, what you really enjoy doing, or where your heart is. Because I feel like all those that I mentioned earlier doesn't really matter as long as you wake up motivated, really inspired, and genuinely happy with what you're doing on a daily basis.
Word of advice for graphic designers and illustrators like me: please, 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 please don't overwork yourself, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Learn to say no, because it's really hard if you keep on saying yes for the projects that you can't really do. Yeah, don't do what I did back then. Like, I used to work from Monday to Sunday. It had a consequence with my health. It was really terrible. Currently, I'm recovering from now. Please take care of yourself. You can't do projects if your body isn't functioning well. Self-care is very important. Burnout is really horrible. You can take a break whenever you want. And as long as you feel that like heavy feeling, rest. Play video games, exercise, go biking, take care of your pets. Just do what you love aside from like professional obligations that you're currently doing. Yeah. Thank you.
This happened so many times and I'm so numb to it now.
They make you adjust small details when the deadline is nearly approaching. Girl! Make up your mind.
That's okay as in more money for me.